If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here.
Alonso?
Monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Ah, here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
B+.
I didn't spot a plus on the record. Must have been my mistake. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
The zoo?
Interesting. Your file says land, trains, and extra-city commerce.
Oh, can't get anything past you, Mentor Alonso. Graham's making another of his little jokes.
Oh, yes. Very amusing. Had me going there.
Now, Graham, let's take it seriously from here. I'm sure Mentor Alonso has places he'd rather be.
Of course, please continue.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
You mean my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Possibly. It's as plausible as everything else you've told me today. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. Now, it's clear to me that your recent concussion has had some deleterious effects on your memory. You need some time to recuperate.
Of course, mentor. I shall see to it that he gets the care he needs.
Oh, I have no doubt that you will. And to support you in this, I converted some of your kudos to grant you both some time off work.
Our kudos? Wait, how much?
Oh, nothing too severe. Just enough to give you some time to reflect. You may notice a slight dip in your social tier, however.
But the Aspiration Day Gala... tonight...
Yes, won't it be something? I am so looking forward to it. Anyway, keep a smile on your face.
You too?
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
What in the name of Joey do you call that sorry performance?
Maybe I could have tried harder.
Look, Buster. Everything was fine until you turned up. I'd dragged my kudos all the way up to Class B for that gala. I don't want time off. I want my gala tickets. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish, before Alonso's analysis comes back. Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo. Hello, Chipworth.
Good afternoon, sir.
What's this about a celebration tonight?
The Aspiration Day Gala. Madam Songbird was so looking forward to it. It is most unfortunate that she'll no longer be permitted entry.
Why? What happened?
Mentor Alonso has deemed you to be somewhat in need of care. He kindly converted Madam Songbird's kudos into more holiday days, so the two of you can spend some quality time together.
And what has that got to do with the gala?
Well, she now no longer holds the required level of kudos for entry.
So you're saying that it's my fault?
Would Sir like me to place an order for a bouquet of flowers?
Good idea. I think it's gonna need to be a really big bouquet.
Very good, sir. Order processed. Order shipped. Order out for delivery.
My wife mentioned I had a contact. Any idea who that could be?
Perhaps you might ask her, sir. I fear I am not able to elaborate any further.
Songbird doesn't seem too upset about her husband.
And why would she be? The glorious Master Graham has returned to us.
Sounds like my wife didn't miss me all that much.
I'm confident Madam Songbird's affection was simply kept hidden, on the inside.
I'd like to hear more about Songbird.
May I suggest that Sir speaks with the lady directly? Or perhaps check her social media presence. That's how Madam has traditionally spoken to you.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
The mentor, Alonso, seemed to be arguing with someone. Ah! The gang had a ferocious beak. I was lucky not to lose a finger. The gang had a ferocious beak. I was lucky not to lose a finger. Here you go. Whatever was in the box, Graham had clearly not wanted anyone to find it. Inside was a small glass lens. It had deep cuts scored across its surface. But that wasn't all. Tucked beneath was a photograph. A picture of a stalker. A child's face pressed against the window. Suddenly I realized that it wasn't just Milo. It was clear that multiple children were being taken into the city, and somehow Graham was connected to it. A printer? It was rare to see one of those. The droids who stare at goats. A classic. A collection of toy animals were lined up in little baskets. One was missing. In Union City, even the teddy bears had screens. This one was broken. I poked at it, but I couldn't get it to turn on. I poked at it, but I couldn't get it to turn on. The shelf was loaded with books on management, business theory, and military strategy. Jasmine. A Detective Culls. Someone liked their murder mysteries. I didn't think Songbird would appreciate me rummaging through her things. Songbird, I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Oh, terrific. As long as you're sorry. But tell me, what exactly are you sorry for? Turning up here? Pretending to be my husband? Or maybe you're sorry for making such a mess of it. All that kudos straight down the drain.
But...
Do you know how much effort I've put into getting that gala ticket? How many months of fake smiles and loathsome dinner parties? Only to have Mentor Alonso convert it all into time off to spend with you! So, please explain. What exactly are you sorry for?
That I made a mess of the interview.
I hope you realize what you've cost me. That gala was everything. Could you not have tried just a teeny bit harder to be Graham? The clues are all over the place.
Well, I tried.
I suppose you did at least get the bumbling idiot part right.
You don't seem too distraught about your husband.
Look, stranger. You told me your secret, so I'll tell you mine. Last few years, Graham gave up trying to be anything other than the dullard he really was. If it weren't for the kudos for being married, I'd have dumped him months ago. You're new here, so a word of advice? You want to win in Union City? Learn the rules and play the game.
My name's Foster, by the way. Robert Foster.
Songbird.
Is there anything more you can tell me about Graham?
Not much. He was a loner whose only friends were idiots like him.
Who's this contact you mentioned?
Bad news, as far as my kudos level is concerned.
What do you mean?
Graham was always rambling on about this hacker friend of his. Had a daft name. Leet, I think.
Any idea where I could find Leet?
Probably somewhere up top, with the other degenerates. If I were you, I'd stay away.
Are you a collector?
What?
Toys. You have quite the collection.
Oh, yes. The whole set of cuddly kitties. Even the limited edition Mama Bear from 5 years back. Well, I did have the whole set, at least.
Did something happen?
Bartleby went missing, that's what. I asked Graham about it and he denied all knowledge. Then, when I tried to use the Mama Bear tracker to find dear Bartleby, he threw her across the room.
Clumsy.
Clumsy? Those bears were my engagement gift. He hid Bartleby just to spite me.
Graham had taken Songbird's toy Bilby, but I couldn't figure out what he'd have wanted with it. Wherever he'd gone, Graham clearly didn't want to be tracked. Tell me more about Graham.
Why do you want to know?
I think he might have been involved in something.
What do you mean?
I came to Union City from the Gap because I was investigating a mysterious...
Oh, for Joey's sake, not you too. Blah, blah, conspiracy, blah, blah, giant dog. Graham was the perfect husband until he started getting crazy ideas. Why couldn't he just have an affair like a normal person?
What does Bartleby Bilby look like?
Bartleby is a bilby. Adorable, long ears. Like a bandicoot and a rabbit all rolled into one. At least he was, before he went missing.
Could Graham have had anything to do with kidnapping?
For both our sakes, I hope not.
What's a mama bear tracker?
What do you think? It tracks her babies.
Her babies?
The cuddly kiddies. Most toys in Union City are tracker-enabled. Lost toys mean screaming babies. Unless you got a tracker.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
Can I ask you about some missing children?
I'd rather you didn't.
Excuse me, please.
Graham was a conspiracy theorist?
Always was. But before he went missing, he really changed.
He became secretive. Used to close the terminal whenever I came into the room.
That's not that strange.
And he started spending a lot of time in the bathroom. And then he just disappeared.
Okay, that's the weird bit. Did Leet believe in Graham's conspiracies?
Believe? Pretty sure he's where Graham got him from. Bad influence all round.
What were you saying about kudos?
You mean all the kudos I've now lost, thanks to you?
Yeah, kudos. That's important, right?
Were you born yesterday?
Let's just say I'm new here.
Okay, newbie. Here's how it works in Union City. Be a good example, stay happy, and you get kudos.
Which you spend?
Well, kinda, but not really. The higher your kudos level, the lower you are in the city. Simple.
So kudos is bad?
Aren't you listening? Lower. Lower is better.
So you need a higher kudos to get lower?
Excuse me, please.
Of course. That industrial pit up there hovers over me like a storm cloud. And this middle level is simply beneath me.
I think I understand what you mean.
But the lower level, now they are my kind of people. They've got standards that you don't see enough of round here.
How can I raise my kudos level?
With kudos, obviously.
So how do I get more kudos?
Well, isn't that just the question? Like I said, be happy, get points.
But how can you be happy when you've just found out your husband is dead?
You think I'm not sad on the inside? No one's gonna give me a medal for having a dead husband.
But
Let's talk about something else, eh? My points have already dipped way too much today, thanks to you.
what's with the Alonso guy?
Guy, I believe you're referring to Mentor Alonso from the Ministry of Well-Being. He's a high-ranking official. And thanks to you, he won't be taking his eyes off us anytime soon.
We got away with it, didn't we?
Do you think he's a fool? When he finds out who you really are, we're both done for. My kudos won't survive another hit like that.
Can I open the window?
I'd rather you didn't.
Why not?
See those clouds out there?
Yes?
That's not water vapor.
Oh. Is Alonso coming back here?
For both our sakes, I hope not. But I'm not risking it, so don't even think about doing anything stupid.
Nothing stupid? For how long?
Very amusing. Until my kudos is back on track, obviously. But for now, you are Graham.
Looks like Graham was quite the photographer.
Oh, he was dreadful. At first I thought he was an artist. Then I found out he used those ridiculous antique cameras. It took hours to see the finished photographs. And he took forever fussing with the lighting. The only good thing about his photographs is that I'm in most of them.
What do you know about the council?
They run the city.
Excuse me.
You know, like they always have since Joey left.
Can I speak to them?
Not with Graham's ID, you can't.
You work for the Ministry of Comfort?
Sure do. It might not sound prestigious, but without us, the city falls down.
You don't seem the type to settle for a cleaning job.
Cleaning supervisor, thank you very much. And you'll find in Union City, it's not what you do, it's how you do it that counts.
How so?
You know, get the job done, don't get in trouble, keep a smile on your face, the usual.
What can you tell me about the Minister for Comfort?
The terminal has their details. Look there if you want to know more.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye.
It looked like Graham had taken Bartleby and didn't want it tracked. I had a hunch that he had taken it to Leet, but had no idea why. Carl Koala. Dave Dingo. Kevin Kangaroo. There was an empty spot marked Bartleby Bilby. The shelf was loaded with books on management, business theory, and military strategy. The device was now on, but with the screen broken, I'd need to find another way to get at the data. I wondered why Graham had taken a children's toy.
Hello there. I'm Mama Bear.
Hi.
Mama Bear looks after all the cuddly kitties. Are you looking for one of my children?
I'm looking for Bartleby Bilby.
Don't worry, child. Look at my tummy to find your missing friend.
Plinth was showing the toy's tracking data. All I needed to do was locate the area code E1594. Find the tracker, find Leet.
Excuse me, please.
Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath. The plinth was showing the toy's tracking data. I needed to find out what the building in E1594 was.
Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
Excuse me, so
What is it, Graham?
any idea where the area code E1594 refers to?
E1594? What would I know about an old area code?
Old?
The monopod system has taken care of transport for years.
You sure you don't know where to find E1594?
The monopod system has taken care of transport for years.
Excuse me, please.
That's all for now.
Yeah, bye.
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Water tank depleted.
Excuse me.
Ah, Master Grundy. What joy to see Sir again after all this time. The Poet Laureate Reginald Arthur Schnipple, Esquire, sends his regards and/or condolences as appropriate.
How nice of you, Reginald.
Correction, sir. If one may be so bold, Mr. Schnipple is of course Sir's human neighbor. How Sir might mistake yours truly, Tarquin, for our beloved Poet Laureate is beyond imagining.
Any idea where I might find a place called E1594?
That sounds like an area code, and not one I would venture into.
How so?
It would be extremely inappropriate for a gentleman to visit Sector E.
Who are you again?
Tarquin, Fidelis Mark II domestic savant, at your service.
So you're a servant.
Savant, please. I am a highly engineered personal aid.
I'm Graham Grundy.
Of course, sir.
So we've met before?
Of course, sir.
Have you heard any reports of missing children?
Why, no, Master Graham. If anyone went missing, I'm sure AI Officer Greta would find their U-chips.
What if they were from outside the city?
Well, surely AI Officer Greta would find them by their newly implanted U-chips.
Fair enough. For all his poetry, Tarquin was still a Union City droid. What do you think about the graffiti?
As an artiste, I find any medium a valid form of expression. Of course, the vandalism does somewhat detract from the piece.
So you like the graffiti?
I said it was a valid form of expression, albeit not on a par with, say, the literary arts. But as art goes, it's not too abhorrent.
Do you work in these apartments?
Of course, Master Grundy. Sir and I have been neighbors for 147 days and 11 hours.
When's the last time you saw me?
Master Grundy, one is sure one doesn't need to remind Sir that one works with Sir's neighbor.
One would need one to remind one.
Ah, does Sir mean Sir would need one to remind Sir, or one would need Sir to remind one?
One is not sure anymore. You have a real way with words.
Aha, Sir is referring to one's grammatical prowess, no?
Yes.
Sir is too kind. And yet, if only one could translate grammatical prowess into poetic inspiration.
See you later, Tarquin.
Will I?
Huh? It's just a phrase.
Shall we schedule in another meeting?
I don't think that's necessary.
Such ambiguity. A tortured soul. Alas, I am inspired.
Excuse me, please.
Chipworth,
Good afternoon, sir.
do you know what E1594 might refer to?
It's a city area code, referring to a few city blocks, I would imagine.
Which part of the city exactly, though?
Sir is confusing me with an android that gets out and about.
You make it sound like you're a prisoner here.
Sir's words, not mine. I suggest Master Graham seeks out a map.
Chipworth knew very little about the geography of the city. I'd need to find a map if I was to make headway. Do I know someone called Leet?
I can neither confirm nor
Why's that?
When Sir was shorter and stouter, it was made very clear that I was not to discuss such information with anyone, not even Sir himself.
Okay. Do you know if I know someone called Leet?
Excellent loophole, sir. Yes, I do know with absolute certainty whether Sir knows someone called Leet.
That's good enough for me. Do you know someone called Leet?
He was never my acquaintance, sir.
Do you know what E1594 might refer to?
Do I look like a map droid, sir?
You sound like you're developing a bad latitude.
Oh, I see. A little cartographical quip at Chipworth's expense. Very droll, sir.
There's more where that came from. I think I need a map to locate code.
Sir's words, not mine. I suggest Master Graham seeks out a map.
Goodbye, Chipworth.
Have a very special day, sir.
I swapped the lens for the broken one from the lockbox. The HoloLens now projected fragmented data. Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive. I swapped the lens back to the original one. The pictures were all of Graham's wife. They were photochemical prints, taken using an old-style film camera. The retro technology had managed to blend songbirds seamlessly into the fake backgrounds. The photography was impressive, but the subject didn't look happy. The pictures in the apartment told a sad story. A blissful romance that had soured with time.
Ahem.
Excuse me.
What now?
Bye, song.
Yeah, bye.
Jasmine. Murder, She Wrought. Someone liked their murder mysteries. The picture showed an utterly unfamiliar scene from a bygone era. Someone had spilt paint on the floor. The holdall was stained with paint.
Commencing refill.
With no hand scanners, I figured they were intended for droids. The cleaning robot was clearly designed to carry heavy water tanks.
Water refill complete.
Looked like someone planned on doing some painting.
Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
Dear me, a terrible situation. Very troubling indeed.
Mentor, given your experience, your input here would be greatly appreciated.
Orana, isn't it? You strike me as a fine young officer of the Ministry of Well-Being. Would you say that's an accurate description?
I'm flattered, sir.
Your record is exemplary, I believe.
I do my best, sir.
I'm sure you do. So please, don't let me down. Fix this mess.
Mess? You mean the girl?
The whole untidy situation.
Yes, sir.
Atta girl. Keep a smile on your face. After all, it's Aspiration Day, isn't it? The happiest day of the year.
I'll take care of it, sir.
I know you will. By the way, a call to pest control wouldn't go amiss.
Of course, sir.
Meanwhile, I shall isolate this area until this unfortunate incident has been resolved.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your advice.
We're all here to learn from each other. Take care now.
Miss! Pardon me, miss!
Who, me? Hey! You can see forever up here! You know, be free!
Miss! You have to be careful!
Careful or careless? I know which one I want to be!
Why don't you come down, yes? Miss Dijon, is that right? Raquel Dijon.
Yeah! That's... me. I think...
Raquel!
Raquel? Did you say Raquel?
You need to come down.
What? Where am I? Oh no! Help! Help!
Hearing her name had triggered a total change in the girl's behavior. I needed to find a way to get her down before she fell. From that height, the girl wouldn't fare much better than the cat.
Are you okay?
No! I don't know how I got up here!
Raquel! Raquel Dijon! Don't panic! I'm from the Ministry of Well-Being.
How can we help?
Nothing to see here, sir. I suggest you go back inside and enjoy some screen-based entertainment.
Excuse me? I'd like to make a complaint.
Please, both of you. I'm a welfare officer. I know how to deal with this kind of problem. I just need to check the negotiation protocol.
Well, thank goodness the Ministry is on this. It's all very distracting.
Can you see any way down from there?
No!
Okay, we'll see what we can do from here. How did you get up there?
I don't know! Please! I'm frightened!
She climbed the outside of the building. Astounding agility, by the way. Most impressive.
I don't remember!
Bravo, miss!
Sit tight. We'll soon have you down.
What's your name?
Her name is Raquel. Now, would you please?
Raquel? Oh, but of course, that makes far more sense. She told me her name was Rat Girl. But it would appear her grotesque moniker signifies little more than a deplorable deficiency of elocutionary attainment. Rat Girl, indeed.
Please, gentlemen, now is not the time.
What are you painting?
Sir, please, you're not helping.
What? I didn't... I don't know!
Her work is rather inspired, don't you think? I do believe art may be her calling.
Please, both of you.
Help me!
Anyone got any ideas?
Yes, I do. I have an idea.
Go on.
Never use a simile when a metaphor suggests itself.
What?
I'm in the middle of composing an Aspiration Day poem, but my lexiconic cupboard is bare, so to speak. Hence the requirement for...
Wait, is this idea about your poem?
Well, yes. You asked if anyone had an idea. You were not specific to the context.
Can you see any way down from there?
No!
We'll work something out. Hold on. Anyone got any ideas to help the girl?
I'm still searching through this ministry protocol, but to be honest, we've gone rather off script.
Keep looking. I'll see if I can find a practical solution around here. Can you see any way?
No!
Okay, we'll see what we can do from here. Don't worry, we'll get...
And soon. One hopes.
Hello again.
Good day, Master Grundy.
What should we do about that girl?
We should inform the Ministry of Well-being.
But the Ministry is already here.
How very efficient! The missive was only sent a moment ago.
Can you think of a way of getting that girl down?
Gravity should do the job soon enough.
That's rather harsh.
Oh, did Sir mean get her down safely?
Bye for now.
Before you depart, may I use you as a sort of muse?
Depends. Are you writing a romance?
I had something of a tragedy in mind.
I'd rather you didn't. This particular spot seemed popular with the local birds. The seal had been vandalized. Poor Joey.
Please stand back. Water tank depleted.
The cleaning robot was clearly designed to carry heavy water tanks. The girl looked almost frozen with fear. Hell of a place to get stuck.
Raquel!
Help! Please!
Can you see any... Hold on. We'll work something out. Think you can get on the robot when it passes?
I could try. But what if...
We'll catch you. You can do it.
I rather doubt she can.
Can't you try and be more encouraging?
You have a reasonably good eye for aesthetics.
Thank you! Now, grab on tight. We'll be right underneath you.
You'll be fine.
Human grip strength is famously reliable. Only in short bursts.
Okay, here goes.
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Water tank depleted. Commencing refill. Water refill complete.
How do you feel, Raquel? Are you okay?
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that's all sorted. Shall I call a pod for her?
I've got it from here, thank you. Raquel, what were you even doing up there?
I don't know. I don't really remember anything.
The girl looked glad to be back on solid ground.
Excuse me?
Mr. Grundy. Oh, Mr. Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Bravo, Mr. Grundy. Your actions in this situation were sublime, albeit unconventional. The local noise levels have already returned to normal, and the building will soon sparkle again.
I'm more concerned about the girl. Is she gonna be okay?
Yes, blah, 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 and all that. Officer, wouldn't you say that Mr. Grundy's actions today warrant a kudos boost, hmm?
Of course. Thank you for the suggestion.
Tarquin, miss.
Orana. Orana Newblood.
Yeah, like the guy said. Graham Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Will she be in trouble for the graffiti?
Well, no real harm done. The droid will clean it up, eventually. That said, her kudos rating will take a hit.
All because she defaced Joey?
People loved Joey, and what he did for us.
Joey was my friend. We did so much together.
Well, he might be gone, but he's not forgotten. You can find out about our savior at the Museum of New History.
So, do you work here?
I'm an officer for the Ministry of Well-Being.
You often have to talk girls off high ledges?
My first one.
You did a good job.
Thanks.
I'm on the trail of a missing kid called Milo. I think he's somewhere in Union City.
That shouldn't be difficult. Any greeter terminal will be able to find him via U-chip.
No, that won't help. He was brought here from the Gap.
That's not possible.
I assure you.
Where did you say you worked, Mr. Grundy?
That'd be the Ministry of Comfort.
I suggest you concentrate on your work and leave well-being issues to the appropriate ministry.
What is the reflection spa?
What is the... Are you feeling okay, Graham? Everyone this side of the industrial level has heard of reflections.
Oh, you mean that reflection spa. It's been a long day.
Next, you'll be asking me to tell you about this Joey guy.
No, I'm familiar. Does the location E1594 mean anything to you?
Well, E1594? That's just an area code based on the old map system. Totally obsolete. That system hasn't been used for years.
E1594 was an obsolete code. There had to be a way of finding that location.
Raquel. Is she always like that?
What do you mean?
Well, I met her earlier and she seemed like a totally different person.
She's been through a big ordeal. Nothing that a trip to the reflection spa won't sort out.
How is the girl doing?
She'll be fine. This sort of trauma is best handled at the reflection spa.
You mentioned I could find out about Joey in a museum?
Yes. The Museum of New History has exhibits about how he transformed the city. I'd recommend it to anyone who wants to learn about him and his legacy.
A museum dedicated to Joey? He'd be proud of that for sure.
Well, it's not all Joey. They have a special exhibit about the previous administration. Old technology, maps, that sort of thing. My advice, though, is to avoid dwelling on the past. Anyway, taking in some culture is good for you. Find it at the piazza if you get the chance.
I guess I should get going.
Yeah, well, thanks for your help.
I suppose I should thank you too.
No problem. You take care.
You too, Mr. Grundy. If you need any well-being support, just ask for me at Agrita Terminal, or Rana New Blood. Come on, Raquel, let's get you to the spa. You'll be feeling better in no time. No need to worry, Raquel. You're safe now. Happy faces all round, right? In fact, this calls for a celebration. It is Aspiration Day after all.
Oh, goodness. Is it?
All day. And you know what would be the best end to a day like this? A trip to the reflection spa. I'll pull a string or two, and we'll get you straight to the front of the line.